blood is spilled in Chicago, Antifa takes over Portland, and federal judges block Trump at every turn. How can the president quell the unrest in America's cities? Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Before we get started, did you know YouTube is actually hiding episodes from you? It's thanks to a little feature called Restricted Mode. Check it out. Here's our channel unrestricted, and here it is on restricted mode. Notice the difference? Lots of episodes just disappear. So if you haven't already, go up to your profile picture, click on it, and go down to restricted mode. Make sure that's turned off, so YouTube will stop hiding controversial topics from you. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe, because YouTube has a habit of unsubscribing our viewers without telling them. So, you may have noticed that since the beginning of June, a certain pattern has been emerging between Trump and many Democrat-run cities. First, there's a major ICE surge. Next, massive numbers of protesters show up and start rioting, destroying property, and attacking federal agents. Trump then deploys the National Guard to protect the ICE facilities. A federal judge issues an injunction against the deployment, Trump appeals, and either the Supreme Court punts the issue down or the Court of Appeals rules first, usually resulting in the continued deployment of federal troops. This is how events played out in Los Angeles over the summer. But now the situation is becoming a lot more dire. In Chicago, a suspect armed with a semi-automatic weapon was shot by federal officers after allegedly ramming an ICE vehicle, attempting to box the agents into a convoy of protesters. And later that day, according to the Assistant Secretary for the DHS, another law enforcement vehicle was rammed. This was on top of all the usual chaos we've come to expect. Now, there's only so much ICE can do. Sure, they can arrest people violating federal laws like attacking their fellow agents, but there are only so many officers to go around. Additionally, the scope of their powers are limited mainly to protecting ICE facilities. You need local cops to handle everything else, and Chicago police have been less than cooperative. According to radio dispatches, their orders are to not assist ICE, even when federal agents are surrounded by furious crowds.
All right, and 999 just to confirm, 39th Police in Kedzie, they were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd, and they were requesting the police were not sending, waving off all the cars heading to 39th Police in Kedzie.
Again, those are the orders we're being given.
That's pretty bad. But believe it or not, things are even worse in Portland. Antifa have taken over the streets, harassing motorists and attacking journalists. What have Portland police done to respond? Well, it's Portland. What do you think they did? They ran away, of course. It's gotten so bad that Antifa has taken over for the police down to directing traffic.
I don't know why they're allowed to control traffic as to who goes which direction.
Well, it's their event, so they're preventing people from crashing into people.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are the police.
Correct, but we have a different task to do, so we can only do so much with 4 people.
But there are like 10 other cops that just went by.
Are you kidding me? You're having to ask permission from a guy wearing Hot Topic bondage pants? I'd rather take orders from someone who shops at Spencer Gifts. At least their shirts say FBI. Oh, but don't worry, the Portland police are doing something. Threatening to arrest normal people trying to get through the mob.
If you go to this crowd of people, you will be arrested.
All right, get out of the way, I'll take care of this.
Oh hey, that's the guy who grabbed Nick Sorter.
All right, baby girl, I'll get you out of here. We'll get you out in a second. Let's get this one. No one respects you. You don't even have authority anymore. The federal government came in and punked your ass.
I hate to say it, but when the man's right, he's right. But it gets even worse. Not only have Portland PD effectively surrendered the city to protesters, they even refuse to assist ICE when there are assaults happening right outside their buildings.
There have been folks that have been assaulted right down here on the street, even across the street, and it takes Portland police a while to respond, or sometimes they don't respond at all.
Things are clearly getting out of hand, which is why Trump ordered the deployment of National Guard troops to both Portland and Chicago. But you know what comes next. A district judge blocked the president from federalizing Oregon's National Guard. Trump tried to get around the order by sending guardsmen already deployed in California Texas Governor Greg Abbott, meanwhile, authorized 400 of his state's own guards to assist. But all of this was blocked again by a follow-up order from the judge, stating that no guardsmen from any state could be deployed in Portland. Around 100 California guardsmen have already arrived, and more were on their way. But why does this keep happening? Well, for one, the Supreme Court often just keeps deferring judgments back down to the lower courts. These cases will all likely wind up in the Supreme Court anyway, but in the meantime, it leads to mass confusion. The other reason is the Trump administration's use of the law. The Trump administration often makes references to powers outlined in the Insurrection Act of 1807. The law states that, quote, whenever the president considers that unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages, or rebellion against the authority of the United States make it impractical to enforce the laws of the United States in any state by the ordinary course of judicial proceedings, he may call into federal service such of the militia of any state and use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws or to suppress the rebellion. That part is pretty obvious. I really doubt Antifa, a self-described anarchist group, had a permit to block Portland's streets. It also lays out the president's authority to override state governments if they are unable, fail, or refuse to protect the rights of their citizens. Basically, the president can federalize National Guard troops without a governor's consent or bring other guardsmen and regular army from outside the state. And the decision to do so is completely up to the president, not a federal judge. But Trump has never actually invoked the act. Why? Well, it would be politically explosive, just like it was when Eisenhower used it to deploy regular troops to Little Rock, Arkansas. But with Trump, everything is explosive, so really what does he have to lose? This may be why the word insurrection has been coming up a lot.
Portland is burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists.
Because I think that's all insurrection. I really think that's really criminal insurrection. But we have an Insurrection Act for a reason.
You see, if Trump actually goes through and invokes the Insurrection Act, that will at least put an end to this particular legal back and forth. Sure, it would invite a whole nother tsunami of lawsuits, but at least we wouldn't be taking traffic directions from this guy. But what do you think? Should Trump invoke the Insurrection Act? Leave your comments below. I do read as many as I can. And please consider supporting America Uncovered over at our new website, americauncovered.tv. We can't keep making the show without your help. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thank you for watching America Uncovered.